Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 21 video. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Tennessee Titans with a new addition of Jadeveon Clowney. I know this news is definitely old. I'm just getting to it now because, I feel like it, and it wasn't a big surprise that Jadeveon Clowney made it to the Titans. I just want to say real quick that I did call it because in Madden 20, I did make a video about it, about Jadeveon Clowney going to the Titans, just hypothetically going. But there's a lot of reports of him going to either the Titans or the Saints, so it was kind of pretty obvious on who it was going to be. So apart from that, let's get into the rebuild. So we have Ryan Tannehill here, and I'm going to keep him probably for the first or maybe even the second season, depending on how he regresses. We have Derrick Henry as well, A.J. Brown, and Corey Davis, who I plan to keep around, Jonnu Smith. This right offensive side of the line is all not very good, but left side is pretty good in general. And linebacking core is overall pretty great. Pass rush seems pretty good to me. D-line seems solid. Jeffrey Simmons Jr. seems like the only good piece. Defensive back-wise, Adoree Jackson's great, but everything else, not really great. Kenny Vaccaro, I'm probably going to trade, and Kevin Byard is absolutely amazing. So, overall, this team isn't bad, but it isn't great. So, let's get into some trades. Some of you guys may think they're unrealistic, but apart from that, let's jump into it. For the first trade, I'm going to trade Jonathan Joseph and Malcolm Butler in a third for a first and a 5 from the Giants, just because they're both super old and both take up a crap ton of cap, and I just can't have that on the team. Next, we're trading away Adam Humphries, Kenny Vaccaro, and Vic Beasley Jr. They're all just mainly just cap problems for a first and a first from the Philadelphia Eagles. Once again, their cap is just way too high for what they're worth. Now, I did trade away 5 players, and that does seem like a lot just in the first season. They were huge cap problems, and that's not what this team needs, especially paying for this offensive line. Taylor Lewan is being paid big bucks, so Amani Hooker, I guess I'm going to start you, and everyone else here looks pretty good to me. So apart from that, guys, I would say that it's time to jump into the midseason mark. Now here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a win to the Cincinnati Bengals as we are 6-1, top of the division above the Indianapolis Colts. This is actually pretty cool how we are 6-1. I did not expect this at all, especially from Ryan Tannehill. But Jadeveon Clowney is here, 89 overall, star development, 27 years old. Now Jadeveon Clowney, in my opinion, is overrated, but he is the star of this video. Jadeveon Clowney, they said he's an elite pass rusher, yet he's been in the league for 6 seasons and hasn't even recorded double-digit sacks, so it's, in my opinion, it's pretty lame. But either way, he even wants more money, which makes sense considering it's Jadeveon Clowney. He's super picky about money. But Corey Davis is here, and he's going to want a pretty good contract, and Brown is here, and that's overall a fair contract. I'll give him that, and he does stay with the team. Daquan Jones, he's 28 years old. He'll be regressing by the end of the season. Jonnu Smith is here, and I obviously want to keep him around. Very cheap contract for a tight end, and he does stay. And overall, everyone else here does not really have an interest for. Yeah, and apart from that, guys, I would say that it is time to jump into the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs in the wild card at 11-5, as we are here to face the 9-6-1 Baltimore Ravens, and Ryan Tannehill didn't do that great. 14th best offense and the best defense in the NFL. That's what carried us. So Ryan Tannehill had 3,500 yards, 29 TDs, and 17 interceptions. Not really that great. Derrick Henry was a monster, 13 touchdowns and 1,400 yards, averaging 5.5 per carry. A.J. Brown was alright, and ball distribution was actually very good. Defensively, Jayon Brown with the most tackles on the team, most tackles for a loss, goes to 15 for Jeffrey Simmons Jr., and most sacks goes to 12 for Jadeveon Clowney. So his first double-digit recorded season. Adoree Jackson with 3 interceptions, and safeties is 0, and defensive touchdowns is 1 for Kevin Byard. So that is very, very good. So we're going to simulate this wild card round to see if we can move on to the divisional round and beat the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs once again. And we do, here to face the 11-5 New England Patriots. Seems ironic how the Titans faced the Patriots and the Ravens last year, but switch it around from wild card and the divisional, if you know what I mean. But we do not beat the Patriots, getting freaking slammed in the face 42-17 by Cam Newton. But yeah, that's going to be it, and we're going to sim into the offseason. And oh my god, no way. EA actually fixed it. It's now Super Bowl 55 in the year 2020. For so long, it was Super Bowl 54, and they didn't fix that minor detail that always pissed me off. thank God they finally fixed. Now in the year 2020, it is Super Bowl 55. I'm so glad that they finally fixed it. But Jadeveon Clowney now has superstar development, 89 overall, 90 with morale. We obviously want to give him a contract, a big contract, since he finally hit that double-digit sack mark, and he's a superstar development. Even if he didn't hit double digits, I would have to re-sign him because he is the star of this video, and he does re-sign. And everyone else here, I do not have an interest for unless the CPU signs someone. Nope. So I don't have an interest for anyone else here. So we're going to look into the team to see if there's any other development upgrades. And from what I can see on the offense, I don't see anything. And defensively, obviously, Jadeveon Clowney has superstar development. And Amani Hooker has star development, the safety that I started at the beginning of the season. So I guess we'll keep him around at strong safety, and we don't need to replace anyone. So apart from that, guys, it's time to jump in free agency. Now here we are in free agency, but obviously we don't really have that much money. We only have $7 million in cap. That can't really get us much other than maybe a punter and a kicker. So let's just jump into the draft. Now here we are in the draft as we're picking up a strong safety, 77 overall, and that is glitching out really, really bad. I don't know why it's doing that, but normal development, 77 overall, not bad, not really great either. Next we're picking up a defensive tackle, 74 overall, normal development, and once again the game is glitching out. I don't know what's happening. Next, we're picking up a right end, Juan Swan. That's a stupid name. I don't know if I butchered that. But anyways, this is what the team looks like after the draft, as O-line hasn't really improved much. And also Ryan Tannehill, I couldn't find him a replacement. So it looks like we're going to rock with him again. But hopefully that strong safety can develop into something. And apparently it looks like the CPU picked up a defensive back with star development or better. So hopefully he can develop into something. Maybe that defensive back can just play slots. I think I'd like that better. But he's apparently not a slot-worthy cornerback, according to the CPU. So I guess he's just going to be a second-string cornerback. So hopefully he can develop throughout this rebuild. But apart from that, guys, I would say that it is time to jump into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a win to the New York Jets, and we are 3-4. Okay, as the Houston Texans are 7-1, we are third in the division, behind the Indianapolis Colts and above the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Adoree Jackson is here, and we do want to re-sign him. It's going to be a big contract, but he does re-sign. And Harold Landry is here as well. He wants a huge contract. That's a lot more than I thought he was going to want. But we're going to have to give it to him. He's a great player, and he wants more money. We're probably going to give it to him at the end of the season. Rashad Evans is here, and we do want to re-sign him because we are running a 3-4. And he wants more money. We're probably going to give it to him at the end of the season. Ben Jones, he's 32 years old and only in normal development. I just can't give him a contract, and we don't really have the money to do it. So, everyone else here, I don't really have an interest for. It looks like I'm going to have to re-sign those players at the end of the season. So, apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into the playoffs. And here we are at the playoffs as we are coming off a win to the Kansas City Chiefs. But we did not make the playoffs, finishing 8-7-1. Third in the division. Ryan Tannehill wasn't that great. 9th best offense and the 16th best defense. Ryan Tannehill, almost 4,000 yards, 27 TDs, and 10 interceptions. Rushing-wise, Derrick Henry, 13 TDs and 1,300 yards. Jonnu Smith, pretty good year, and ball distribution was overall pretty good. And defensively, Amani Hooker with the most tackles on the team. Most tackles for a loss goes to 14 for Jadeveon Clowney. Sacks is 8.5 for Jadeveon Clowney. Interceptions is 2 for Rashad Evans, and safeties is 1 for Isaiah Mack. And defensive touchdowns is 0. So apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into the offseason. Now, here we are in the offseason as it looks like the Browns beat the Saints in the Super Bowl 56 to be specific. But Harold Landry the third is here, and Rashaan Evans is here, and we're going to want to re-sign both of them if I can actually speak today. That would be very, very nice. But Rashaan Evans does re-sign, and Harold Landry, I don't know if I can pay him that much. And Ben Jones has regressed 3 overalls, and if we re-sign him, it's going to be a tight. Yeah, it's going to be a tight contract. I don't know if I do want to re-sign him. Looks like I'm going to have to. And he does re-sign. Now we're like completely dead on money. I don't really know who's consuming cap because I thought Ryan Tannehill's contract was supposed to end this year. And he's a 75 overall. So I'm definitely going to be looking for a QB in the draft. And I'm going to add him to the trade block maybe. Ryan Tannehill, I thought his contract was supposed to be over. I thought he was only supposed to be on a 2-year deal with the Titans. Maybe next year it will be over. But Jadeveon Clowney now has Superstar X Factor, 91 overall Superstar X Factor with run committed, an adrenaline rush, and Amani Hooker with Superstar Development. And our rookie strong safety that we did draft, I moved him down to defensive back because his overall is good. So let's get into free agency. And obviously in free agency, we don't have any money at all, as we have like negative $9 million in cap. So apart from that, guys, it's time to jump into the draft. And here we are drafting a center, probably going to move him to right guard. 74 overall, normal development, ranked number 18 in the class, well, ranked number 11. Now we're picking up a wide receiver, Andrew Stephens, 75 overall, normal development. Now here we are in the preseason, as we have trade offers for Ryan Tannehill, 34 years old, and who's going to want him? The Steelers, but they're offering basically a fourth and a sixth. That's terrible. I don't want a middle linebacker. I don't need another one. Decline that. I think we may keep him for another season because there, again, wasn't any good QBs in the draft. So maybe I'll start a second string rookie. I don't even know. I guess we'll have to start him just because his overall is high. But we have a huge problem at that position. But defensively, that star development that the CPU picked up last year only has star development, of course, as I just said. But apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a loss to the Bengals. Okay, 3-4 at the midseason mark, second in the division though. And looking into the stats, Ryan Tannehill not doing that great. I'm gonna be honest, not doing too great. But AJ Brown is here, and yeah, we're going to need to re-sign him. I don't know why I paused to think about that, but A.J. Brown does re-sign. Jeffrey Simmons Jr., we're going to want to keep him around, and he does re-sign. Rodgers, he is 34, but I guess one more year can do, and he wants more money, so I think we're going to give it to him. Amani Hooker, only a 79 overall, but he does have superstar development, so we are going to want to keep him around. Very, very cheap contract. Actually, we don't have money. That's what it is. So let me go do that real quick, and I'm going to drop Ryan Tannehill just because he takes up an insane amount of cap, I think. Let me check on that real quick. Oh, yeah, $34 million. So it seems like no team has the cap room to take on Ryan Tannehill at all. So it looks like I should have taken the Steelers deal because I'm going to cut him now and start a rookie. So yeah, I'm going to do that right now because he's not going to develop. He's not going to do anything. And I just starting a rookie would be just as good, even if they have like a trash overall. It doesn't matter. I keep cutting myself off on things, but Derek Richards is our new QB of the future, I guess. Only 2 seasons in our future, including this one. And Amani Hooker, yeah, we have way more money now. I'm so glad I cut him. I don't care about the cap penalty. And he does re-sign. So I think we can re-sign a lot more people, but I don't need to re-sign the punter. He may be good in real life, but in Madden terms, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to re-sign our right guard, and he does re-sign. Everyone else here, I don't really have an interest for. So apart from that, guys, I'd say it's time to get to the playoffs. Now here we are in the playoffs, coming off a loss to the Dolphins wild card as we finish 9-7. The Texans finish above us at 10-6, and that's who we're going to be playing the wild card. Now rookie QB did not do even bad for only playing half a season. Pretty good offense, middle of the road defense, and 2,200 yards, 24 TDs, 5 interceptions. Derrick Henry, monster season in yards. Pretty good in TDs too. Andrew Stephens or Stevens. I feel like an idiot for trying to pronounce things today, but overall he did good. Jayon Brown with the most tackles on the team. Most tackles for a loss goes to 10 for. I'm so confused with all the linebackers. 2 interceptions for Rashaan Evans, and safeties is 1 for Kevin Byard, and defensive touchdowns is 0. So sorry for butchering so many random names that I can't even somehow pronounce or comprehend. I don't know what's going on with my brain, but either way, we got to simulate against the Texans, and we are here to face the Browns. I hate facing the Browns. You guys should know this. Their Madden simulation team is absolutely godly and unfair, so let's try and beat them. And we are in the third quarter, and we are getting crushed right now. 22-31. Let's see if we can do anything about it. Can we move down the field? 25-31. Falcons come back maybe? Oh, I'm kidding. Falcons don't come back. But 32-37, and that will be our ball game as we lose by 5 points in the divisional round. Not bad for a rookie QB who's only 65 overall, so nothing too much to blame. He's like a Drew Lock. He should have star development. But apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into the offseason as the Browns win the Super Bowl to the Saints once again, back-to-back, and we have players to resign. And for one more season, I think I should maybe keep him around because that's all we have left is just one season. So I will extend him just for that. And he does resign. I don't want to resign the punter. Could I though? Nah, I just can't. And everything else here, don't really have an interest for. So apart from that, guys, we're going to look into the team to see what we have. And QB is a big issue, so let's see if we can do something about it in free agency. And defensively, it looks like I'm not going to try to pronounce that, dudes. I hate trying to pronounce names. You guys should already know this since I'm basically illiterate on this channel. But apart from that, guys, it's time to jump in free agency. And after free agency, we picked up the GOAT, Mitchell Trubisky, 78 overall with morale, normal development. In Madden Simulation in Madden 20, he would win the MVP constantly for no reason. I don't know why. It's stupid. Hopefully, he can clutch up and be a Madden god. But apart from that, guys, let's jump into the draft. And here we are in the draft, picking up a right outside linebacker, 76 overall, normal development, Patrick Levy. And that right outside linebacker is just going to be rotational. Wasn't really too many great offensive linemen in that draft, but this team basically looks the same as it was last time before you looked into the draft. But apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into the midseason mark. Here we are in the midseason mark, coming off a loss to the New Orleans Saints, as we are 6-1. Mitchell Trubisky is goated. Goated, I tell you. And we are above the Indianapolis Colts, and we have players to resign, but just like every year in the final season, I do not need to resign them, so I will not resign them. But apart from that, guys, it is time to jump into the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs with a first-round bye, coming off a win to the Indianapolis Colts, as we are 3-13. Mitchell Trubisky is goated, and his stats don't look that good, but they look pretty good. A lot better than Ryan Tannehill's 12th best offense and the best defense. That's what carried us. That's most definitely what carried us. But let's see, Mitchell Trubisky. I want to see if he got like one of the best QBs, maybe top 3. I want to see that. And best QB goes to Jameis Winston on the Colts. Okay. Mitchell Trubisky at 7. That's kind of all I wanted to see. But looking back into the stats. Actually, you know what? Screw that. You guys don't need to see the stats. We're going to get to what you guys really want to see. And that will be this divisional game with the 8-8 Broncos. So I'm going to actually hop in here to make sure we win this one. So let's get into it. And here we are as the game is 28-7. As we are just ground pounding them in the face with Derrick Henry, kind of like with the Ravens. And 35-7. This is basically a boring game. I don't really, yeah, that's the game. That was way too easy. 35-7. And next we're facing the 3-13 Browns. I'm gonna kill myself. I hate the Browns. They're so annoying in Madden Simulation. But let's just jump into it. And of course, the Browns do they get home field advantage? No, we get home field advantage. Okay. But it's 29-26. Can we please beat the Browns? Please. It's 29-29. They can't make a comeback. Please. We can't be like the Falcons and choke everything. We don't want to choke against the Cowboys or the Bears like the Falcons did. Please. 29-32. Yes, 29-32 is your final score against the Cleveland Browns. Let's get to the Super Bowl. Mitchell Trubisky is goated. We are here to face the 8-8 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And looking into the team, Mitchell Trubisky better have star development. Elite, baby. Elite star development, Mitchell Trubisky. What an elite player. We definitely should have traded for him. Nick Foles don't got any sauce on Mitchell Trubisky, baby. In real life, he does. Much better in real life. But, yeah, I kind of want to see if Tom Brady is still in the Bucs. That'd be very interesting. So let's look at that right now. And roster QB, Tom Brady is still in the Bucs, but he is a 73 overall, 72 without morale. Yikes. Hard regression hits hard, but not for Brady. But let's get into the Super Bowl. And here we are in the Super Bowl as it is 3-10. It looks like Brady carries over the very low scoring games with him. Cough, cough, Rams and Patriots Super Bowl. That game freaking sucked. Nobody liked that game. But 13-3, just like the Rams and Patriots Super Bowl. Now we continue to pour it on as it is 20-3. Now I'm going to hop in here to make sure we can win this game. But you know what? No, I don't need to. Yeah, that just faked you out, guys. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. But 10-20. Now 17-20. Brady's making a comeback against the Falcons. I cannot let this happen. Let's hop in. Okay, I'm sporadically being frantic, but we have the ball, so I'm just going to roll out and throw it away. Yeah, throw it away. Okay. Yep, that would be the game. 20-17. That was definitely that was not... You guys may think that was not like a fair move or a cheesy move, but either way, we won the Super Bowl with Mitchell Trubisky. So how about that? How about that, boys? How about dim apples? Okay, Tennessee Titans win the Super Bowl with Mitchell Trubisky. End of story. Tennessee Titans, Mitchell Trubisky is elite, boys. And your Super Bowl MVP is the main man on the thumbnail, Jadeveon Clowney, 5 tackles, 3 sacks, 0 TDs, 0 interceptions. But still, what a great Super Bowl for him and Mitchell Trubisky, aka the GOAT. And that will be it for this episode. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed. I know I did, especially with rebuilding Trubisky and the Tennessee Titans. Mitchell Trubisky only came in the last season, but what an absolute go. As Jadeveon Clowney went from star to superstar X Factor in simulation, he's overall pretty good at getting a good development and developing well, but it seems like on the stat sheet, he doesn't do too well in Madden. But overall, I'm not going to bash on him. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this episode, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.